6 warning signs that your kidneys are toxic. Hello everyone. Today, we're going to delve into the 6 crucial warning signs indicating that your kidneys could be suffering from toxicity. My aim is to present this information in an easily digestible manner, avoiding unnecessary jargon. We'll focus on the essential aspects of preventing kidney toxicity and addressing it if it's already an issue. What is the purpose of the kidneys? It primarily filters blood, although not in the same way as your car's oil filter does. It's far more complex. It eliminates the toxins while also aiding in the reabsorption of all the beneficial elements. So, when you lose this intricate filtering function, you begin to lose nutrients that you require, as well as waste materials, which begin to accumulate in the system. As a result, all of the symptoms, both in the early and late stages of kidney disease, are directly related to the damage to the filtering mechanism. Some of the most common early symptoms include a metallic taste in your mouth. This signifies that your poisons are backing up into the system. You experience irritation in your body, and you may have ammonia breath. Now, some of the latter indicators that your kidneys are toxic include edema, or swelling where you push your finger into your lower thigh and it makes a dent. As a result, you will observe swelling in the lower ankles and feet. This also manifests itself in the kidney because the liver and kidney act in tandem. However, pitting edema in your lower legs indicates that your kidneys are toxic. The other location you'll observe edema is under the eyes, okay? You will notice large, bloated bags beneath your eyes, which are caused by the kidneys backing up. Another symptom that you may have is uremic frost. So, what is uremic frost? Things are building up in the system, particularly uric acid, and it's coming out through the skin, mainly on the scalp or the front of your head. You'll notice little white specks on your skin that look like frost. This is urea building up in the system since the body is unable to eliminate it, and it's coming through your skin. Another typical symptom is high blood pressure because, if the filter is compromised, it can limit blood flow to the kidney, causing back pressure to build up. And one of the issues with high blood pressure is that the pressure itself will harm the kidneys because putting too much pressure through this pipe and hitting this filter is analogous to having a water filter in your home and putting way too much pressure in these pipes. It will damage the filtering mechanism. So, as a filter, the kidney is made up of these tiny little filters called glomeruli, and each kidney contains approximately 1 million of them. And they filter and recycle specific nutrients so that all of the vitamins, minerals, and amino acids are not wasted. Okay. Another common indicator that your kidneys are toxic is exhaustion, right? You are exhausted. Now, the mechanism that causes you to be sleepy is urea, which is a protein waste product. Too much of it in the blood, and you'll be exhausted. Number 5. Protein in the urine. If you get a urine test and there is a lot of protein in it, it may indicate that your kidneys are toxic and damaged. Now, if there is a modest amount of protein, it could indicate something different. But if you have a lot of protein passing through this filter, there are holes in it, okay? They are damaged. Okay, number 6 is really acidic pee. Your body gets more acidic as a result of an ammonia imbalance, as ammonia is extremely alkaline and hence incapable of buffering things. As a result, ammonia accumulates in some areas of the body while not in others, causing your pH to fluctuate. Another reason you may get acidic, particularly if you are diabetic, is because you are running out of insulin, resulting in uncontrolled blood sugars. If you don't keep an eye on it, you risk developing ketoacidosis. But I should point out that this is not the same as nutritional ketosis, which occurs when you change your diet and enter ketosis. Ketoacidosis occurs when a diabetic does not take their medicine and does not regulate their blood sugars properly. Now I'd like to shift gears and discuss the main causes of renal injury. Diabetes, specifically excessive levels of glucose running through the body and kidneys, is by far the leading cause. Glucose to the kidney is equivalent to rubbing steel wool or sandpaper within your kidney. It simply damages the kidney. The kidney is one of 4 major bodily tissues that are damaged by excessive glucose. The other tissues include the heart, blood arteries, nerves in the brain, and the eyes. So diabetes simply hits the kidney and destroys it. Now, I'd like to bring up one minor point that I'll cover in another video. If you look at typical blood sugar levels, right? Normal blood sugar would be around 80 milligrams per deciliter, right? What exactly does 80 mean? How much sugar is in the blood when it reads 80? It's only 4 grams, or around 1 teaspoon of sugar, which is sufficient to maintain normal blood sugar. An average individual drinks well over 15 tablespoons per day, and that is traveling through their blood system, correct? But, in many cases, it does not appear in your blood test as abnormal blood sugar, since your body tries extremely hard to keep sugar out of the blood, which it does through a hormone called insulin. As a result, it is continually removing sugar from your arteries in order to prevent the harm it causes. But consider this, where does all the sugar go? Your body is storing it elsewhere, and one of the symptoms of diabetes is the presence of sugar in the urine. As a result, the kidney filter needs to work extremely hard to eliminate excess sugar, which acts like a blowtorch on your kidneys. It just creates oxidation, which causes significant harm. I'm simply amazed that the body adapts and survives so well with the amount of sugar that the ordinary person consumes. Okay, so the primary cause of renal problems is diabetes. The second cause is high blood pressure, which is often induced by diabetes because glucose hardens the arteries, raising pressure due to a lack of elasticity. The other two major reasons of high blood pressure are low vitamin D, which may be caused by a kidney disease, and low potassium, which can lead to kidney damage. And high blood pressure can also influence diabetes, so it's like a feedback loop in which one disease creates another, and so on. Polycystic kidney disease is another factor that, while uncommon, can result in kidney damage. Now, this is typically a genetic issue that presents as kidney disease. As a result, the genes are typically expressed or activated when your body, particularly the kidney, becomes toxic. People with later-stage renal illness frequently develop these cysts. Another form of kidney injury is glomerulonephritis, which is inflammation of the small filters known as glomeruli. So the question is, what causes inflammation in these little filtering units? If you guessed diabetes, you were accurate. So you can pretty well assume that high blood glucose causes the majority of kidney problems, right? So, what can you do with this information? Let's see. Try a low-carb diet. That might help. Okay, before I get to the foods, I'd like to briefly explain potassium. If you have end-stage kidney disease, you shouldn't consume too much potassium, right? You shouldn't eat too much phosphorus because both minerals are high in levels. And, of course, if you have end-stage kidney disease, you know your doctor will tell you what to take and what to avoid. But I'd want to tell you something. If you don't have end-stage kidney disease and want to prevent it, potassium is one of the most important minerals to ingest since it protects the kidney. And I'll include some links below for those of you who want hardcore data. And I'm not just talking about taking a supplement. I'm talking about eating high potassium meals. The other two things I'd like to add are vitamin D. When you have kidney impairment, you will almost always be low in vitamin D, and because vitamin D levels are low, you will also be low in calcium. The problem is that we no longer have this calcium transportation mechanism, and you begin to accumulate calcification in your arteries and joints, as well as kidney stones. Okay, now that you have that, let's speak about the greatest foods for kidneys to prevent renal disease. Leafy greens are unquestionably the best foods, okay? Asparagus is great for the kidneys because it helps detoxify uric acid. We also have kale, which contains a variety of phytonutrients that protect the kidney. And then there's celery, which contains a lot of nutrients that can help detoxify the kidneys and maintain them healthy in a very mild way. Celery juice, consumed on a regular basis, is an excellent way to cleanse the kidneys. And if someone has puffy eyes, you'll see that they clear up quickly after eating a lot of celery. I believe that if someone had kidney weakness and had celery every day, whether right at mealtime, at the end of the meal, or a little later, it would not only aid the kidney but also help them sleep. However, celery is quite beneficial for edema, especially in the ankles and beneath the eyes. Fish and seafood are the finest sources of protein, as are high-quality meats. I'm talking about organic and grass-fed. But you don't want to go overboard with protein. Instead, you want to go with a healthy amount. You don't want to go low on protein. Instead, go with a moderate amount. That would be 3 to 6 ounces, perhaps 7 ounces every meal. Now, it is critical to improve dietary quality if you want to avoid kidney problems, since diabetes, or high blood glucose, kills the kidney. However, both narcotics and pharmaceuticals injure the kidney. Many medications have adverse effects on the kidney itself, since the kidney is constantly filtering blood, which is where your prescriptions and drugs end up. So, repeatedly exposing the kidneys to pharmaceuticals and drugs will cause renal damage. We do not want to consume pesticides and herbicides. We don't want non-organic coffee because of the number of pesticides sprayed. Another point I'd want to make is that many patients with kidney difficulties follow a low-sodium diet. So, obviously, they're not even consuming salt, okay? Which therefore weakens your muscles, okay? You'll feel weak and lethargic. There is an amazing salt that is naturally very low in sodium. So, sea salt, which contains approximately 90 minerals, typically has more than 95% sodium. However, there is a form of sea salt known as Baja Gold that is 70% sodium and contains 90 minerals. It is high in potassium and magnesium, making it extremely beneficial not only to the kidneys but also to the overall body. And it tastes great on your food. In fact, it will really bring out the flavors in your cuisine, and I'll include a link below. I have no affiliation with this company, but it is an excellent salt for getting your potassium and magnesium without going overboard on sodium. Now, obviously, refined foods, junk foods, high sugary foods, and high carb foods are all harmful to the kidneys. However, certain so-called nutritious foods are actually harmful to the kidneys since they contain high levels of oxalates, okay? Oxalates combine with calcium to generate oxalate stones, which can harm the kidneys. So, if you have kidney difficulties, you should generally avoid eating spinach, almonds, kiwi, beet leaves, and, of course, beans and grains. The other thing I want to make is how much fluids you should drink. If you have renal impairment, you should drink at least 2.5 liters every day. That will prevent your kidneys from concentrating and forming these small stones. Okay, last point, and this is very crucial. If you have renal disease, I would recommend a really good supplement, which I do not sell. You can find it by searching the internet. It comes from a product called Standard Process and is known as Renifood. Take one of these before bed for 2 to 3 months. I used to recommend it in practice and had excellent results with kidney disease. I hope this detailed explanation provides you with valuable insights into recognizing and addressing nephrotoxicity. For more information on a kidney-friendly diet, consider exploring the healthy keto diet through my next videos. Stay informed and take proactive steps to maintain your kidney health.